Welcome back to a very special edition of Breakfast Television. And if residents of Mission and Rideau thought the woman in the black t-shirt helping pull debris out of flood-ravaged basements looked familiar, well, I think they were right, saying the only thing you can do to help is help. Prime Minister Stephen Harper's wife, Laureen, got her hands very dirty, helping devastated Calgarians clean up in some of the city's worst-hit sectors. She's about to do it all over again today, but before she hits the front lines, we're delighted to have Laureen with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
You have such a strange family history with floods.
Floods are, well, when anybody that's from southern Alberta, floods are part of family lore and family history. Everybody, you know, remembers floods. Their grandparents talk about floods, so it's just part of our, it's part of our culture.
It's part of our culture, but we certainly wish they didn't happen, and certainly wish they didn't happen to the extent that this one did.
That's for sure.
Tell us about watching from afar.
Well, it's hard. Well, at first, everybody should watch from afar because, you know, it's dangerous and the first responders need to get there. But once the first responders leave, that's when the stinky, smelly, backbreaking work begins. And that's when a lot of people are left alone in their homes trying to haul all that stuff out, and it's heavier than when you bring it in. And that's when people really need the help. And you don't need training to haul soggy drywall out of basements. You just need a strong back, and even if you don't have a strong back, you just pick up small pieces and one little bit at a time.
And you were in Ottawa when this began. You said
yeah,
you were
we watched it. You know, we watched it. We have all the Calgary stations, so we were watching you guys, and we were supposed to be here this week with the big convention. So I was already coming out, so I just wanted to come out and be with family and friends.
How shocking has it been to see what you've seen up close?
Well, I mean, you know, anybody that's been from a flood, it's always the same. It's muck and mud and debris. And once family treasures for people end up as garbage. So trying to help people sort through that. So that's what it's all about. And the amount of people going around, we have roving gangs of helpers. We don't have looters. We have groups of teenagers that come from parts of the city. We had a group of teenagers we met yesterday from Taradale who just were down. We thought they were residents of the house and they didn't even know the people. They were helping. There was a lady we met who has a Tim Hortons in Red Deer who just decided to open a Tim Hortons in the back of her truck giving away stuff. You know, she didn't want to sit there. These are all people that did not want to sit there and watch. And just walking around the town, you just see all these mucky people, and you know, those are the ones out there, you know, helping.
And you're about to get mucky yourself, as you did yesterday.
Yeah.
You've been out there lending a helping hand.
Yeah.
What's it like getting your hands dirty?
Well, nobody cares who you are. Everybody
Right.
just cares. We stopped. I thought there'd be a shortage of gloves, so on the way here, we stopped at the airport in Ottawa. We stopped at Canadian Tire, bought lots of gloves, and we came. So when there's people, you know, people just want to help. You can just throw them some gloves, and you know, people just need rubber boots, and they can help.
You are an Alberta native. You are from this area. Yep. I am sure you're not surprised by the outpouring of generosity.
Now, every city has when there's a disaster, something happens, every city has its wonderful people. I just think southern Alberta, Calgary, we just have a higher proportion of people ready to do that. So that's what we saw yesterday, just people who were unasked, who just left their home, came by bus, they walked. Doesn't matter. We had Sheldon, there's like lots of famous people, Lanny McDonald, like there are a lot of people. It doesn't matter, people pitch in. When everybody's dirty, you can't tell who they are.
Not just people affected by this, but stories we're hearing about animals needing to be rescued. I know that's a matter close to your heart also.
Yep, and there's people, I was reading that this morning about all the people rescuing all the different, you know, either domestic animals or wild animals. And, you know, that's just another part of the cleanup effort is picking up after the poor animals left behind.
So where are you off to today?
Well, we're going to head to Blackie, and then this afternoon we'll figure out where we're needed, and that's where we'll end up. We're going to go to shelter. I've been trying to find a friend who lives in High River for a few days, so she's going to be at the Blackie shelter, so it'll be wonderful to get back with her again. So we're going to go out there, and then off to parts unknown this afternoon, wherever they need people with you know, just rubber boots and gloves, and that's where we'll be heading.
Will we see you back for the Calgary Stampede?
You betcha.
Yahoo!
And I'm bringing a bunch of people think, oh, maybe should I not go this year? No. So we're going to bring some people from Ottawa and Toronto, and they're going to come down and they're going to learn about you know, come hell or high water.
Come hell or high water.
That's
Show
right.
them how it's done.
That's right.
Mrs. Laureen Harper, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me this morning.
Our very special edition of Breakfast Television continues comprehensive flood coverage all throughout the morning.